There is a magical place in this world where the lemonade is red, means what? And hotels are not judged by TripAdvisor, but rather the price of a pint. Home to Sir Davos, the surfing James Bond, and of course the international music star Pat Millad, who brought the world many hit singles such as What Do You Mean, What Do I Mean, Saying Goodbye to My XLI, and of course everybody's favourite, So You Think You're Some Kind of Turf Guy. A place where the bar stools are always warm, the dinner's always getting cold, and the ground is always getting wet. Of course I'm talking about Ireland, land of Ire. So let me take you by the lad once again and give you a kind of accurate guide to Ireland. There is no parental figure across the globe with a more legendary reputation than the Irish mammy. With a sharp mind and a good sense of humour that's hiding years of suppressed rage from a forced marriage after being knocked up in a hay barn, they are well known to dish out a harsh burn as fast as they could launch a shoe, TV remote or bicycle. There isn't an Irish person alive who doesn't believe that their mother is a few briquettes short of the bail. Due to their complete lack of mental stability, Irish people often have a love-hate relationship with their mother thanks to the Jekyll and Hyde personalities and the conflict of advice given when they're growing up. Not to say that an Irish mammy isn't loving. They'll offer and or force a cup of tea on just about anyone who happens to be with you when you return home. They'll be straight up the stairs with flat 7-up if you're ever stricken with flu, stomach bug, coronavirus, cancer, unemployment or a breakup, and they'll take you on lavish holidays to exotic places you could only ever dream of, like 2 weeks in Tramore. But just be forewarned, as they'll just as quick threaten young children with the man in the white van who's coming to take them away, wake you up in the morning because you had the audacity to sleep past 9, and tell you not to swear but in the same breath call your missus a f***ing tramp or the fella you're with a useless cunt. An Garda Síochána, or as they're more colloquially known, the Gardaí, the Guards, or the Filth, is Ireland's police force that was put together in 1972 after Europe refused to accept Ireland into the EU due to Ireland being too much crack, the crack being rated 100 at the time. Over the following year, thanks in no small part to the Gardaí, the Irish government had managed to lower the countrywide crack to 90, where it remains today, which both allowed Ireland to join the EU in 1973 and was also the origin of the phrase, the crack was 90. Due to Ireland's modern day high-ranking bustling economy, today it should come as no surprise that the Irish police force is one of the best in the world. These days, the Gardaí is made up of Ireland's best and brightest and is a force of highly trained, highly equipped individuals that boast a very impressive list of statistics, such as an under 4-hour response time to the scene of a crime, Gardaí stations that are open for up to and sometimes including 5 hours a day, and a 100% success rate at failing to get itinerants to move on. Due to their glowing reputation, the general population often go out of their way to help the Gardaí. They often help by lessening their workloads by putting up Facebook statuses informing other people of local Gardaí checkpoints, warming the door handles on Garda cars while they're inside bravely putting an end to a lock-in, and by flashing their lights at speeding oncoming cars to highlight them so the speed camera van they just passed can spot them more easily. Ireland in the 1990s was a vastly different place than it is today, especially for those who had the dire misfortune of being reared at the time. It was less about online gaming, minions on Netflix and ordering food from your phone, and more about the war between Pokemon and Premier League stickers, wanking to the RTE guide, and partaking in some intense, thrilling and exciting activities such as reading Goosebumps, walking 3 miles to find out your friend isn't home, and typing in random numbers in an attempt to unlock the mysteries of teletext. Thanks to this completely monotonous lifestyle, many Irish people, including kids and young teenagers, took to the drink. Children who didn't have the same financial backing as their parents chose to buy heavily discounted alcohol in bulk and drink at more affordable establishments. As a result, there wasn't a field in Ireland that didn't have 15 teenagers sharing 2 flagons of cider and a nagging one of them stole from their parents. Adults, on the other hand, with a much better income would gather the whole family, kids and all, and spend weeks and even months at a time frequenting local bars and drank pints, often taking upwards of 2 hours to finish a pint in order to extend their stay. Their children, who were seen to be too young in their eyes to drink, typically aged about 8 years or less, were used to run errands such as running to the shop for 10 fags and trips to the local betting office to put £5 on a horse, which the child also hopes wins, as he will also be rewarded with a lucky bag. Due to these kids having a higher caloric need to the immobile drinkers, they were fed on a more solid diet of high caloric foods such as bacon fries, dry roasted peanuts, potato crisps and the occasional bottle of Score. As a result of all this heavy drinking in the 1990s, not only has it given Ireland a small bit of a reputation in the eyes of the world, but it also caused a lot of severe brain damage in people who are middle-aged and raising kids of their own today. Thanks to this severe brain damage, this has caused these people to remember the 1990s quite differently to the nightmare that it was in reality. This brain damage can be easily seen by some of the outlandish and hypocritical statements they say, such as complaining about kids being on social media, on Facebook, declaring that people don't read enough these days, all the while refusing to watch a movie that has subtitles, and expressing disgust that kids don't go outside anymore while handing an iPhone to their 5-year-old. But the most troubling thing these people do is remember the 1990s fondly and boast as much, when in reality every day was a painful struggle of corner shop sweets being 2.5 years out of date, cigarette smoke-filled pubs, shops and restaurants, trying to keep a Tamagotchi alive, ice cream shaped like feet, schools in the winter somehow being colder inside, cleaning the heads of your favourite videotape, 4 channels on TV, one of which you didn't understand a word they were saying, all copybooks had a girl's name, the OG step, being called a frigid, drink driving, and having a presenter talk over the start and end of your favourite song because you had to tape it off the radio. If you spend more than 20 minutes watching Irish telly, then you'll be witness to some of the hands down most harrowing, disturbing and horrific road safety ads on the planet. Ads that usually start like this.
Stayed too long, I'd probably break down and cry.
Then do this. And end like this.
Shame on you.
Yes, it is a bit extreme, but it's hard for the government to be taken serious by the Irish since they forced pubs to close at 2 AM in a country famously known for having proud drinkers. But if they do get through to you and you choose to hang up the keys of your car, then don't fret because there are certainly a wide range of alternative transport options. You could spend an hour dialing long since disconnected numbers and take a local taxi and soak in a long trip filled with intriguing conversations such as the state of the country, the state of the GAA, and of course the state of their foreign neighbour who lives next door to them. Of course you can take a trip from A to B on one of many Irish bus services in operation throughout the country that are not only on time, but too on time, usually resulting in them being long since gone, even if you arrive at the stop 10 minutes before they're due to be there. Unless of course you predict this and arrive 30 minutes earlier, in which case they will most definitely be 1 hour late. And why not take a frighteningly overpriced trip on the Irish train service Éireann through the beautiful Irish countryside and soak in the atmosphere of well-known Irish towns and cities that include and if you're curious what Éireann actually means in English, it means Iron Rod Éireann, started by and named from the nickname given to a man called Éireann O'Shaughnessy, with the prize money he won when he took home gold in Ireland's hardest erection competition in 1987. So that is the kind of accurate guide to Ireland. In the next video, we'll be dipping our toe into the 5 best tactics when confronted with a TV licence inspector, whether you should put out your tongue or your hand when receiving a communion wafer, and the controversial news of Ireland weaponising immersion heaters in the nuclear arms race. So hit that subscribe button a proper decent belt so you don't miss that. And I will catch you lads and ladies in the next one.